No, not yet. Just we're live right now. Hi there. Defiprime team is excited to start our AMA series with Diane, the DODO Exchange co-founder. My name is Nadia, and I'm going to be an AMA series host. In the beginning, I would like to say a little bit how it will go. As usual, we ask DeFi community to post questions about DODO at our Alpha DeFi forum. So we sourced a few interesting questions for AMA there, and we will ask a few questions from our team as well. Thank you, Dai, for joining us today. So, and here we go. And our first question is, can you introduce yourself and give us a little of your background and what got you into DeFi space?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Nadia. Hi, the community of defiprime. Yeah. Thanks for inviting. You guys can call me Dai. Yeah, actually, I followed the Twitter of defiprime like for 2 years. Yeah. So you are the first community and media focusing on DeFi. Yeah, very a great contribution to the whole DeFi community. Yeah, and actually I introduced your website to Chinese community like early last year. Yeah, so I think you definitely have many Chinese audience. Yeah, for your Twitter and website. Yeah, and let me introduce myself first, and Mark, can you introduce yourself? Okay. So I had been working for DDEX, which is a decentralized exchange, since 2017 as the head of marketing. Yeah, and before DDEX, I was an intern in Zhenfund. Zhenfund was one of the first venture capitals in China. And DDEX is one of the portfolio in Zhenfund. That's how I know crypto things. Yeah, and after DDEX, I founded DeFi Labs early last year. Yeah, this is the first and the biggest DeFi community in China. I also run a WeChat blog just called DeFi Labs to give some educational articles on DeFi and introduce the DeFi projects and the Western DeFi builders come to the Chinese DeFi community. Yeah. And this is Qi Wang, my partner and co-founder of DODO. Yeah, you can call him Mark.
Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, so my name is Qi Wang, so you can call me Mark as well. So I have a technical background. I graduated from Carnegie Mellon University to got a master's degree. After that, I worked in Oracle and Pure Storage as a software engineer for several years. So I know Bitcoin since 2013 and keep just paying attention to the crypto world. So in 2018, I quit my job and founded another crypto project named DOS Network, which is a decentralized Oracle network. And so I met with Diane and Rita Bear in last year and became a great friends. So this year, at the beginning of this year, Rita Bear just showed his this new innovation to us, these PMM algorithms. We found it pretty excited and decided to found it DODO. Yeah. So that's pretty much from myself.
Yeah, we also have another founder called Rita Bear, our CEO, and he was my ex-colleague in DDEX. He was in charge of the market making, quanting, smart contract development back in DDEX. He came up with this idea of PMM always on, and then we together built the product of DODO.
Okay, thank you. How did your recent IDO go? We were rooting for you here at defiprime. It is really rare nowadays when IDO happens with an already working product. Can you share some numbers?
Yeah, so actually the DODO IDO is a new model of issuing new assets. So we don't want to see a huge pump and dump for the new assets issuing. Yeah. So it is not a token sale. It is just initial liquidity providing, and it doesn't need the projects to have any capital to do the market making for their own assets. Yeah. So actually, we didn't do much marketing and PR before IDO, and we didn't tell a specific time for IDO. So don't want to see a bunch of people just FOMO on the new IDO. Yeah, but I think the whole IDO process is okay. So finally, it is smooth. It is a smooth price discovery. Yeah. So Mark can introduce some data on the IDO process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes. So the IDO went pretty smoothly. So the highest price is reached is 80 cents dollar, and right now the price is stable at 50 cent dollar right now. So the initial price for that is 10 cents, 10 cents dollar. Yeah, so we think about that. The purpose of the IDO is that we are a DEX, a decentralized exchange. So we have a new assets listing mechanism. So we need to demonstrate that this mechanism works. So we think about that the DODO IDO is an experiment. That's why we choose to do the IDO even we have a working product, and we choose our own platform to do the IDO. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What is DODO in a nutshell? How is DODO different from Uniswap or Kyber?
Yeah, so DODO is a decentralized exchange with sufficient and contract fillable liquidity powered by PMM algorithm. And the PMM algorithm is able to make the professional market making strategies run on chain. Yeah. So eventually, the thing we want to achieve is to let the DEX to have the pricing power on chain. Yeah, this is what we are going to do. And for Uniswap, it's a fixed price curve. Yeah. And for Kyber, there are a various of fat price reserves. Yeah. The advantage for Uniswap is it is permissionless. The advantage for Kyber is it involves the professional market makers. Yeah. So we combine the advantage of this DEX. Yeah. So the PMM algorithm is actually a more flexible market making strategy runs on chain, and it allows traditional and professional trading firms just to DIY some parameters on the PML algorithms, and this can use their market making strategy running on chain to provide sufficient liquidity for the DeFi users.
Okay, thank you. Mark, do you want to say something here? About difference from Uniswap or Kyber? No?
Yeah, he's mute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
oh, he's mute. Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the Uniswap Uniswap have a huge innovation. So it's permissionless and it apply the constant product bonding curves. But the disadvantage is that the funding utilization is low, since it's a pretty lazy market. Actually, it's a basically it's a pretty lazy market making strategy. So the LP, to be the LP, so what you are allowed to do is just fill the fund into the funding pool. Then you can do nothing, right? Since there is no external guidance on the price or the market making strategy you can do, you can just simply place the fund from 0 to the unlimited evenly. So that's why the fund utilization is low. So what we are doing is trying to just imitate how the human market maker behavior. So by that, you have to introduce the market mid price on chain. So that's why we need Oracle to provide that price on chain. So after that, by that, we will have a guidance. So that price is a guidance. So we can just place most of the fund around that guidance price, which will significantly improve the fund utilization. So just think about that, how the human market maker doing. So in the centralized exchange, they must have a market mid price, like for example, Ethereum. So for example, if the Ethereum price is 400, so I think most of the market maker will place the order in maybe 390 or 410, right? So the fund to play in 10 or 1,000, that kind of funding will not be filled, right? So that's a waste of the fund. So we have the similar concept. So most of the fund will be placed around the market mid price, yeah, and also it's a pure algorithmic liquidity. And this liquidity is contract-fillable and can be shared with other protocols on chain. Yeah, that's a main advantage between us and Uniswap.
yeah, so yeah, and I want to add that this current model of PMM is a very primitive one, a very still a very simple one. Yeah, but actually, there are 3 parameters on the PM algorithm: the favorite, the K of the curve, and the Oracle price. Yeah, so there is a huge room that we can working with the trading firms and market makers to DIY different curves. Yeah, for the user to provide different level of liquidity, yeah, to realize, to apply different market making strategy. Yeah, so before DODO, actually, these market makers can only use their wisdom, use their strategy on centralized exchange. Yeah, but now with this new algorithm, they can have new experiments. Yeah. And actually, Uniswap and Kyber is pretty successful, and we learned a lot from them. Yeah, and but they are the creator in this generation. Yeah. So what we are thinking about is what the space need in the future. Yeah, we are trying to build a new creator that will be succeed in the next generation.
Okay, thank you. How efficient and secured are your smart contracts? And did you ever audit them?
Oh, sure. So actually, we finished our smart contract development in June and got it audited in July by PackShield. PackShield is a China-based security company. Yeah. Actually, it is the founder of PackShield reviewed our smart contract. Yeah, and in last month, in September, we finished an audit by Tree of Bits. Yeah, so now we have 2 audits. Yeah, and I think they didn't find the severe bugs from our smart contract.
Yeah, and another point I would like to add is that our contract developer is pretty experienced. So Rida Bear, so that's who is our CEO, and he was in charge of the contract development and the market making in DDEX for 3 years. So our development concept is that we think about that the simple, more secure. So we don't apply much more special skills or or tricks in our contract development. So we try to make the logic straightforward and the structure is simple to make sure that to lower down the possibility of the bug. So that's our development concepts in this development progress. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How's token listing process at DODO look like, and how do you choose which pools are being created? It is not. Is it a permissionless process like at Uniswap?
So we have to just discuss this this question in 2 sides. So one is for the mainstream trading pair, which we are in charge of the Oracle service. All the professional trading firms need to apply their market making strategy too. So for this part, it's not permissionless, since that you need to prove that you are a professional market maker, and you are able to just provide efficient, effective market making strategy. Then you can just try to create your own private pool, or after you demonstrate your capability, you can just launch new. It's kind of like a fund product. So you need to demonstrate that you can earn money for the customer. Then maybe they can just buy in your product, which means that fill their fund into your pool, and you can apply your market making strategy to that pool to earn money. Yeah, that's not permissionless. Yeah. So, but for another side, for the long tail assets, so it's permissionless. So after we are releasing our next version product for the new assets listing. So, but right now, so the project team need to contact us to do the IDO, since only the project team is allowed to provide liquidity for their own assets in this time. But we are developing the next version's product for assets listing. So after that launch, so it will be pure permissionless. Yeah.
Thank you.
Since the PMM, so that's why we just make it not permissionless right now. So our consideration is that the PMM is a pretty new thing. So it's a totally different than AMM. So many features may be different than AMM, and we want to make sure that the user's access is secure. So we don't allow the users to just to be LP for the long side access right now. So we will just process it pretty carefully. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Diane. You had released the DODO governance token. What is your strategy for building a strong community, and what is your path to decentralization? Is it feasible to build completely decentralized exchange?
Yeah, so in our roadmap, there will be 3 DAOs. Yeah, because you can see for the PML algorithm, there are some very important parameters that shouldn't be decided only by our 3 founders, right? Yeah, it should be decided by the whole community who really cares about those long-term growth. Yeah, so the 3 DAOs will be, the first one is the admin DAO. Admin DAO has the top right for the whole DODO system. Yeah, another DAO is the risk DAO. So the risk control DAO in charge of to adjust the risk parameters. Yeah, that will impact the performance of the, like how much money liquidity providers can receive. Yeah. Another DAO is the earn DAO. So it's a DEX, right? So there will be the trading fee revenue. Yeah. So the earn DAO decide how to distribute the revenue from the platform, like to the token holders or to the liquidity providers. Yeah, but our governance process will be realized gradually. Yeah, so so at this time, yeah, since we 3 and the DODO team are the we know the DODO system and the PML algorithm the best. Yeah, so we decided these parameters. Yeah, but in the long term, this will involve governance. And about if it's possible to build a completely decentralized exchange. So my idea is when you are building a exchange, no matter it's centralized or decentralized, what you need to do is to give the best liquidity and give the best trading experience. Yeah. So, but so there are different core advantages for centralized exchange and for decentralized exchange, right? Yeah. So right now, full on-chain exchange, their trading experience is still not as good as centralized exchange. Yeah, but in the future, because the blockchain will evolve itself, right? And the talented entrepreneurs will be more and more to discover how to make a pure on-chain liquidity better for the traders and the users. Yeah, so I believe in the future we can give a decentralized exchange that is providing pure on-chain liquidity and also with a best trading experience.
Okay, thank you. So we go to another question, right, Mark? Okay. Every new AMA Dex claims that they had solved the impermanent loss issue. Can you explain how DODO solve impermanent loss?
Yeah, so it's very interesting that different people have different definition of the term of impermanent loss. Yeah, so when we are claiming that we are solving the impermanent loss, we are saying that so like you don't need to put both side assets to be a liquidity provider on DODO, right? So in AMM, you have to, you know, like you have Ether, you want to provide liquidity to the Ether pool, but you have to sell a part of your inventory into USDC and put the two tokens at the same time into AMM's pools. Yeah, but yeah, but it's not good to change your inventory being an market maker. Yeah. So with DODO, you just need when you have Ether, you just need to put your Ether into the Ether pool. Yeah. So that's why we said we are solving the impermanent loss. Yeah. And but every AMMs is not a risk-free business. When you are being a market maker, definitely whenever you have a counterparty risk. Yeah. So now in DODO, some LPs are facing the loss because of the counterparty risk. Yeah. So we are solving that problem by building improvements on the third-party Oracle that we are using, and also co-working with professional training firms, and let them to provide the pricing service, and to give a better performance on the Oracle set. Yeah, because when you are using a third-party Oracle, actually your market making strategy is public, and smart traders can run your public market making strategy. Yeah, but when training firms comes into the field, they will be smarter than these arbitrators.
Yeah. So as that I mentioned that, so the impermanent loss mainly comes from a change in the ratio of in the LP's inventory. So in the constant product bonding curve, so to be LP, you have to fill the base token and the quarter token into the pool at a certain ratio at the same time. So and that ratio will change with the price changes. So this cause the impermanent loss. But in DODO, you no longer need to just fill the tokens as a certain ratio. So you can only fill one such asset, which means that there's no asset ratio, no impermanent loss. But definitely, so this doesn't mean that you don't have any risk. So there's no free lunch in the world. So you still need to face two counterparty risk and arbitrage risk in DODO. So we know that our LP just suffer some loss in the past few days. So the reason is that the gas price is really high. This just prevent the complete arbitrage on chain. So in this case, the LP will suffer a huge counterparty risk. So another thing is the performance of Oracle is not good. So there is some delay between the Oracle price and the actual worst price. So this will make the LP suffer the arbitrage risk. So we are trying to solve these problems. So one potential solution is that we are trying to just build our own Oracle price, and this will improve the performance based on Chainlink. So which means that the Chainlink Oracle will be a backup, and we can maybe apply more accurate Oracle price. So this is for the short-term solution, but for the long-term one, so we still would like to just introduce the professional trading market maker on chain, so they can apply their strategy and provide the Oracle price by themselves. So this will, if their market making strategy works, this and it will earn money for the liquidity providers. So that's I think that's a long-term thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Diane. And the next question. How are you going to attract trading volume on DODO? While liquidity providers could be easily lured by liquidity mining incentives. It is not so easy to bring traders on a new exchange.
Yeah, so actually, the liquidity providing hub is temporary. Yeah, and traders come to an exchange not just by incentives. Traders come to an exchange for the assets because like in this platform there are the assets the traders want to buy or want to sell, so they come to here, right? And also the liquidity is best, so they will come here. Yeah. So the core thing, no matter what kind of exchange you are, the core thing to attract the traders is to list new assets and to list new assets and to give the best liquidity for the mainstream assets. Yeah. So what we are doing is we are creating and improving our PM algorithm to give the best liquidity for the mainstream trading pairs. Yeah. And for the long tail assets, not only this current IDO model, but also we are building a new algorithm to support the new assets listing permissionless. Yeah. So this new algorithm will take some time. Yeah, will take some time, but I think it will be a new assets launch model. Yeah, to support this projects to have zero cost to list their assets and have sufficient liquidity for their new assets. Yeah, so that is something we are working on. Yeah, I think we will share more information about that in the near future. Yeah, yeah. So basically, there are two markets on DODO: DODO Zoo market for mainstream trading pairs and the DODO Wild market for the long tail assets. Yeah, so it's very important to think about the true need from the projects and from the traders, and to meet their needs. Yeah, not just think about some liquidity mining, this kind of temporary marketing campaign. Yeah.
Thank you, Diane. And the next question will be our last one. So, where do you stand in decentralized versus regulated exchange?
Okay, that is an interesting question. Yeah, I share some information here. Yeah, so as you know, the top three exchanges in China is Binance, Huobi, and OK, right? And so the situation is, if you are building something small, new in China, you are pretty free. You got a full room to build your own thing. Yeah. But if you grow into a big thing, just like Binance and Huobi, the government will be watching you. Yeah. So it's like they have different solutions to face the situation. Like Binance choose to develop globally, right, and hide their office place, and the founders, don't live in the China mainland. Yeah, the solution for Huobi is they are focusing on the local Chinese market, and the founder keep a very close and good relationship with the government. Yeah, and Huobi wants to be the like Coinbase for the China market, regulated. Yeah, got the government backs it up. Yeah, and OKEX also focus on the local market. Yeah, but the founder just not the gossip is he really want to like go retirement and to just let it go. Yeah, because it's a little bit tired for him to deal the regulation things for him. Yeah, so like this giants, they have different solution. Yeah, so this is a thing that when you become the top 3, and you need to think about. Yeah, but for us now, what we need to do is to trying to give the best liquidity on chain, right? And before we finally become the #1 DEX, we don't need to bother to think about that issue. Yeah, so now what we are focusing is to give the best liquidity on chain, and to eventually let the decentralized DEX have the pricing power for the on-chain assets, to have a true discovery mode on-chain.
Yes. Thank you so much. Mark, would you like to say something about it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much on the other side. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you, guys. It seems like we are done. Thank you for interesting conversation. Thank you again to Dai and Mark for joining us today, and all the community members viewing the stream. We will also add any links to the descriptions of the YouTube video once completed, so you can follow up with your research and explore DODO further. If you have a question that wasn't addressed, please feel free to drop by the defiprime social channels after the chat, and we will do our best to answer them all. We are looking to do more of this in the future, so make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content from the defiprime team. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us. It was very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So